Okay, guys, welcome. Admit. Okay, so welcome. Hello. It is about 1 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm so glad to see everybody today. So our webinar today, we are going to be talking about Screencastify and YouTube. If you have not already, please make sure you sign in using this bit.ly here. Remember, bit.lys are case sensitive, so make sure that you do the capital GISD and then webinars in all lowercase. My name is Lashaka Wesley Hosier. I am the one-to-one coach at South Garland. My co-presenter, rocking the ones and twos in the chat room, is Gina. Gina, do you want to say hey?
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. I know it's a little busy, crazy day with grades being due and all that. So just hang in there with us and hopefully we'll show you something cool. I could not live my life without Screencastify, so I hope you enjoy it today.
Okay, so if you've been to one of our webinars before, you know how the system works. If you have not, we have a webinar back channel where you can post questions. If we answer them in the chat or during the webinar, great. You can also ask questions after the webinar. Gina and I do check that spreadsheet, and then your answer will be emailed to you. You can also ask questions in the chat and just out loud at the end of our presentation. So what are we covering today? We are covering Screencastify and YouTube. Overall, there are lots of things you can do with Screencastify and YouTube, more so than just video recording. So I'm going to show you the basics, and then we're going to talk about how you can utilize them with your students. Okay, so let's head over to Screencastify. Okay, so when you go to screencastify.com, you can see my screen says already installed. That's because I have installed the Chrome extension. But if you don't have it installed, it will say install. You'll just click that. It'll walk you through an installation process, and then you'll be able to find the extension up here on your web address bar, kind of over to the right. So you can see I've got lots of extensions up here, but the Screencastify logo is actually a video camera inside of an arrow. So that is how you get to the extension. Once you have the extension, to open it, you're just going to click on it, and it's going to give you a basic menu. So you can see here, it is tracking my microphone, and it's going to default to my internal microphone. But if I wanted to switch to a different one, I could if I had like an external. And then when you record, you have a couple of options. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all the options so we can talk about them. The first one is browser tab recording. So this means that I am just going to record whatever tab I am currently in. So, maybe if you're recording something for your students and you don't want them to see the 1,000 tabs that you have open on your screen, you just record that browser tab, and then you have the option for the microphone off or on. You can embed your webcam. So when you do that, that means that as you're talking, a picture of your face is going to appear kind of in this bottom right-hand corner in addition to what you're doing. I don't necessarily need to see my face, so I don't ever embed my webcam, but you might want to for your students. It gives you a countdown option here, and I'll show you what that does in a second. I always keep mine to 3 seconds because I get ready to record pretty quickly, but if you need more time to kind of compose yourself, you can extend it all the way up to 10 seconds. I leave the drawing tools, but you can take them off if you don't want them. And then if you're recording just a single browser tab, it also gives you the option to record the tab audio. So if you've got a video inside of a tab that you know has some type of audio that you want included in your video, go ahead and turn that on. The next one is desktop recording. So this means it's going to record my entire desktop. Everything on my screen, everything that I click in and out of is going to be recorded. And I have the same options here, the countdown, the drawing tools, the microphone, and then again, I can embed the webcam, which will again pop up right here in the bottom right-hand corner. And then I can do one that is just webcam only. So this means it's not going to record anything on my screen. It's just going to record me talking as my face. Okay, so if I go to browser tab and I hit record, you can see it's going to start with this 3, 2, 1 countdown. Here are my drawing tools. So I can pause the recording. I can do a focus mouse. I can have a cursor when it's not being moved, or I can have the highlight clicks. So if I do that, for instance, now I have a special mouse or cursor, but when I click, see how it has that circle right around it? That's to kind of help people figure out what I'm doing. So that's what highlight click means. If I do the focus mouse, it's going to kind of do a spotlight on what I'm doing, which is very helpful if you have a lot of clicks. Or I can hide my cursor when it's not moving. Okay, so that's my mouse pointer. You can see I can pause the recording, I can end it, I can resume it, I can restart it. So if I think, oh my gosh, you know, I coughed, or my dog was making noise, or a kid came in and interrupted me, or oh, I want to redo that because I said the wrong thing, you can restart your recording. It'll take you back to your mouse pointer. Here I have a pen, and I can change the color of my pen. So if I want to draw directly on the screen, here I've chosen blue, and I can kind of circle and say, hey, make sure you do this. I'm doing all of this with my trackpad, or you can do it with your mouse. Same thing, I can go in and erase, or I can just wipe the entire screen clear, which is better for me. If I hit embed webcam, here it is in this bottom right-hand corner. So you'll be able to see my face as I'm recording. And then that gives you a couple of options. If you have the filter for the snap camera, which the last time I did it, it was a beach. So there's that, but I don't think I have it running today. You can flip it right or left. You can make it full screen if you need to really show them something, but no, I don't want to do that. Or you can exit out of it, which I'm going to do. And then you can hide the tools completely. So now I've resumed my recording. It's got my eraser tool on, so I'm going to go back to my clicker. And now we're all good to go. So there is just the basic recording functions. I'm going to switch back to the highlight click mouse because I like that one, and I don't want this focus mouse on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording to show you what happens. So when you stop it, it's automatically going to take you to a screen editor for the video. So if I click unmute, I can have a cursor when it's not being moved, or I can have the highlight clicks. So if I do that, for instance, you'll be able to hear yourself on the video to make sure that your audio is okay. You can turn the volume up or down. You can make it full screen if you wanted to kind of see what they're going to see when they watch the video. And then here are all of my other tools. So I can change the title. So if I wanted to do test Screencastify, there's the title. Okay, and I'm just going to hit enter, and now that new title is there. I can get the information on the video, how long it is, when I recorded it, how big it is, which is important if you're going to upload it somewhere. Sometimes they tell you you have a file size limit, and then it'll also give you the pixels. I can delete it from here if I wanted to, or I have a couple of other options. I can open it in the editor. So from this is just the quick editor, and it's going to allow me to trim my video. So if I drag my scissors and trim it that way, now it's going to start at 15 seconds. And then I would just hit save trim. But if I wanted to add text to my video or crop my video, then I would have to open it in editor. And I'm going to show you guys that in just a second once it's done doing what it's doing. But I do want to talk about these other options over here. So every time you record a Screencastify video, it is automatically going to go to your Google Drive. Screencastify, when you download the extension, creates a folder in your drive where all of your Screencastify recordings go. So even if you don't remember where you put it, you'll be able to find it. You can copy the shareable link just as you would any other Google Drive doc, slide, sheets, whatever. If you click on more options, it's going to give you the option to change. I can make it public, so anyone at Garland ISD can find it. I can make it unlisted, meaning only people with the link can find it. I can make it private so that only I can see it. I can make it public so literally anyone on the internet can find it, or I can make it unlisted down here so any person, even people outside of GISD that have the link, can get to it. So the reason the GISD things pop up is because obviously I've signed into Chrome with my GISD credentials. If you are using this outside of your school account, if you're using it with your personal account, you won't have these first two options. You'll just have these bottom three. I always leave my videos unlisted, but I keep them in Garland ISD so that anyone within Garland ISD that has the link can find it. Okay, if I click view on Drive, it's going to take me directly to my Screencastify video that we just recorded, and it's going to show me what it looks like. And then I can download it from there or do whatever else I'd want to in my Google Drive, or I can share it immediately to Google Classroom. And when I do this, it is going to pop up just as any other share to Google Classroom would. So I can pick my class that I want to share it to. So I'm going to share it to my test class. And then if I wanted to make an announcement, ask a question, or just create material, or even say, watch this video and complete the quiz or turn in your notes, whatever, you can do that and then hit go, and it'll take you through whatever you wanted to do to assign the video. So that's really nice that it has the direct share to classroom button. It also has publish to YouTube, and it's going to ask you the very first time you do it to sync up your YouTube channel. And we're going to talk about YouTube after this. And if you don't have a channel, I'll show you how to create one. Every Screencastify video that I've done is also uploaded to YouTube, just because the YouTube URL is easier to share than some of the Google Drive ones. And again, it'll give you the options. I always do unlisted, and then you can add your description. So I'm just going to put test video and then hit upload. It'll take a second. This one won't take too long because it's only 47 seconds. So if I hit view on YouTube, it's going to take me, it's not going to take me anywhere. Isn't the internet wonderful? Okay, or I can immediately copy the YouTube link. When we go to YouTube and I show you my channel, you'll see the test Screencastify video, but hey, we move on, right? So I can copy that link and share it, or I can get an embed code. Now, embedding means that I do not have to leave the current site that I'm on to see the video. So you did a flipped resources webpage. All of our webinars that we've recorded are there along with other resources. So we've embedded those videos on that page. So you don't have to click out of the page that you're currently on. It will play in addition to allowing you navigate the rest of the things. Another good thing about this, and not necessarily the embed code, but the publish to YouTube, if you create a Google Forms quiz, or any Google form for that matter, you can embed a YouTube video of yourself or of whatever you're doing with your screen clicks into the Google form. So if you're, like, for instance, yesterday I did a form for Memorial for them to turn in their training certificates, and I showed them step by step how to do that. So I was able to add the video of me on that Google form so that they can watch it and do it as I'm doing it, so they can submit their form. And then the last option is to download. Now, you can download just the regular video. You can export it as an MP4, which is going to be the video with the audio. You can export audio only, or, and this is super awesome, you can export an animated GIF or GIF, however you want to say it. So when I do that, I can pick my size. So it'll tell you, like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. It's too big. Okay, so now I've got a small box here. I'm going to hit export. It's going to do what it's doing down here. Now, your GIF or GIF isn't going to have any sound, but it's going to be a little mini video that plays over and over and over and over again of what I did on my screen. So once that finishes loading, I'll show you guys what that looks like. In the meantime, does anybody have any questions up to now about how to export, what to do? Screencastify is pretty intuitive. Okay, so I'm going to hit download. And then once I open it, you'll be able to see it will go through all of my screen clicks. So here it is. It's got a lot of slides because, again, it's there. But you can embed these in emails, on Google Docs, in Google Slides, wherever you wanted. So if I went to docs.google.com and opened a new document, I could insert an image. Okay, insert an image. I'm going to upload it from my computer. And then there's my GIF or GIF. I'm going to put it in there. Now, because I've already set the size, I can make it a little bit bigger, but it's going to be pixelated. But you can see there it is, all of my screen clicks, everything that I've done. So if you wanted to put that maybe in directions for your students, or you wanted one of you like giving them a high five or whatever, there's so many things you can do with this. Facial expressions. You can put that in, like I said, slides, anywhere that you can upload a GIF or an image, you can put your Screencastify right in there, and it'll just loop everything that we did. Those 47 seconds will continue on a loop. Okay, so let's go to the editor and see what that looks like. So when you open your editor, this is going to be a basic editing tool. It is currently in beta, but as you can see, it's going to allow me to not just trim my video from the beginning or the end, but actually cut clips out. So I can start here in the middle at 15 seconds. Which is very helpful if you have a lot of clicks. And then I can go, oh, cut. I want to trim that out, and I want to trim that out because maybe I got interrupted. Then I can click on that and trash that part of the clip, and now it's gone. So now when it plays, it'll play this and then jump immediately into this. So if you have multiple videos, you can also add them together on a Screencastify. So here, where I can add this clip, I can go in and either pull from my Google Drive, or I can upload any other video clip that I wanted. So we'll just take this, what is wealth? Excuse me. So now it's going to add my video in there, and then I'll be able to play. So if I go from here, click mouse to here, and I don't want this focus mouse on there. And then I'm going to, it will immediately, well, it's still processing this one, but once it finishes processing, it will immediately jump to that one. So I'll be able to play them seamlessly. Okay. I can also crop my video. So here's my whiteboard all about wealth. So if I wanted to just focus on maybe his head or whatever, I could, it's still, there we go. So I can draw a rectangle. It's still processing, but you could draw a rectangle and cut out anything that was over on the left side of the screen or right side of the screen or wherever if I wanted my students to focus on just this. Okay, now I've cropped that clip. So when it goes, it will play just that part of the screen that I've cropped. So that's what cropping does. And then the best feature is the text feature. That's what I think is the best feature anyway. So I'm going to put it in bold, and I'm going to put watch carefully on the mouse clicks and follow exactly. Okay. So I can change the background on this if I want to draw attention to it. I can change the font. I can make it super big. And then you can see it's going to be there. I can center, left, right, justify. And then if I have multiples, I can put it at the top of the screen, kind of in the middle of the screen, at the very bottom of the screen. So then when I hit play, my text is there on the video, and it'll show you where I've added text based on where that little T is. Okay, so the video is still processing, but as it goes through, when I click, it's going to move to wherever I choose in the video, and then I can, again, cut things out, move things, add things, whatever I want to do. Now, it's not going to be there forever. You can see as I continue on to the next part, my text is now gone. So if I wanted to continue to add another piece of text, I could. And then if I think, oh my gosh, I didn't want to do that, I can just hit undo, and it will undo all of my previous actions. So you can see the video changing here across the bottom based on my undo or redos. Okay, so that's pretty much the editor tool. Once you've edited it, you can download it again, or you can save it to your Google Drive. So now I can type in edited test Screencastify. And then when I go to my Google Drive, I'll have two versions. I'll have the original one, and then I'll have this edited one with my text and everything in it. So notice it says you can share your link now, but it won't be viewable until processing is complete. Again, this is a short video, so it's not going to take long to process. But if you have a 10, 20, 30-minute video, it can take a little longer to process. So there's my shareable link. And then I would just do whatever I wanted. I can also send this to Gina if I wanted and give her editing rights. And then she could also open it and it would share. Okay, so now if I go to my Screencastify folder on my Google Drive, I'll be able to see all of my videos together. You didn't take me to, that's fine. I'll just go to my drive the long way. Okay, so when I'm in my drive, if I open up all of my folders, and you guys know I have lots of folders and everything is color-coded and there, if I click on this Screencastify folder, I'll be able to see all of my videos that I've recorded. So you can see my Impact kids are doing vlogs, and I record them as well for them. So there's my snap camera background with the beach. Anytime I want to show things to people, so there's my test Screencastify, and then here's my edited test Screencastify. Okay, if I look at the info about this folder, it tells you when it was created and who created it. So it was created on February 19th by the Screencastify video editor. And it's going to store all of my screencasts that I upload. I can rename or move it, and it will upload to this folder. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Like I said, there are no other tools or anything else you need to know. It is really just point, record, share. Easy, easy. Now, another thing that you can do aside from, I already have a YouTube tab open. There we go. So I showed you that I uploaded it to YouTube. Okay, so if you log into YouTube, this is what you're going to see. You can see my little Bitmoji over here. So if you don't have a channel, if you click on your Bitmoji, where it says your channel, it will say create channel. And this is where all of your settings are. So if I wanted to create a channel from scratch, I would just click create channel, but I'm going to go to my channel. Okay, so here are the ones that I've recorded with YouTube. Here are here we go. Here's playlists. And then if I click on my videos, okay, you can see all of my videos are there. So I've got some of the other webinars I've done. Here's a recording I did for one of the teachers at South. Here's a lesson I did for social studies. Every webinar that Gina and I have done together is here. Okay, and then boom, the very last thing that uploaded was this test Screencastify 11 minutes ago. So one of the things you can see is that they're all unlisted. Okay, and then I can also see how many views a particular video has. So you can see the analytics of every video. So if I look at my Google Drive webinar, it's going to take me straight there by clicking on it. And then I can share it out from there. I can see if anyone has left me any comments. It's not approved for GISD, so whether you knew it or not, we have the power to approve videos. So I'm just going to approve it. But if I go back, back channel. No. So if you have a question, go back again. Okay, so now it's taken me back to my channel. Here are the two things that you really need to know about. The plus button, so I can upload any video from my computer. So if I click upload video, it's going to take me into the area where I can just select files. So if I've downloaded one recently, I can just drag it up there, or I can select a file from the files on my computer. Okay, so that's one way to get your videos there. Or you can record a video now by going live. So if I click go live, it's going to take me to the YouTube studio, and I'll be able to create a title for my live stream. I can schedule it for later if I want. I can say whether or not it's made for kids, and then I can start recording. So there's that, and I can click on my webcam and you'll be able to see me again. The very first time you do it, it's going to want access to your microphone and your camera. Make sure you hit allow on those. So now you can kind of see me in the background there. So I'm going to get out of the live. I'm going to go back to my channel. Da-da-da. Okay, so the other thing I want to show you guys is YouTube Studio. So the studio is going to allow me to see my analytics. And if I have a video here, I can edit it. So if I click on analytics, I can look at just how many people have viewed my channel in the past couple days. Here you can see my top video of views, my other videos, and it's going to tell me how long people are watching it for, how many people have watched it, if there's any likes, who I've reached, who my audience is. There's so much data you can get from this. So if you are uploading videos to YouTube, you can see if your students are actually watching the whole thing or if they're just watching 2 or 3 seconds. One of the other things you can do is add cards. Those are like pop-ups within videos. I can look at my comments on my YouTube channel. Okay, so it's going to show me what video they commented on and then what they said, whether they liked or if I replied. I can add subtitles to videos. So if I wanted to, I could look at this Google Doc webinar. Currently, it has English automatic subtitles as soon as it's published, but I can change that to put subtitles in a different language. And then I can go back to my dashboard. So from the certification test for level 1, there are some YouTube questions. One of them is going to be to create a channel, because you have to create a channel before you have your playlist. So once you have your channel created, I'm going to go to the YouTube home and I'm going to search for a video. One of the things I used to look for when I was teaching all of the time was AC/DC Econ. Jacob Clifford is amazing. So let's say I want to do AC/DC Econ movies, because he takes different movies and breaks down the economic principles within them. It's just really neat because the kids enjoy it because it's movies that they've seen. So here we go. We can talk about income inequality in Avengers Endgame. So if I click on this video, hey, Internet, this is Jacob Clifford. There's Jacob Clifford. Okay, this channel is already approved for GISD because everyone watches it. So now that I've created my channel, I can add to, and then I can either create a new playlist or I can add it to one of my other playlists. So I'm going to create a new playlist and I'm just going to call this AC/DC Econ videos and then hit create new. So I'm going to leave my playlist unlisted because it's going to ask you whether you want it private, unlisted, or public. And remember, private means only you can see it. Unlisted means everyone that has the link can see it. Public means anybody can find it anywhere. So I'm going to leave it unlisted and then I'm going to hit create. So now you can see it was added to that playlist. Okay, so now if I go back to my account, my dashboard, take me there. Okay, I can see in my library videos that I've watched, and if I click show more or show less, there's all of my stuff, movies and shows. So if I go back to AC/DC Econ videos and I click on that, it's going to take me to the whole playlist. Now I can see I only have one video on this playlist, but I can edit the title. I can add a description. Now this is on the exam. They want you to add a description. So I'm going to put videos about movies that feature econ principles with Jacob Clifford. Okay, so there's my description. I'm going to save that. So now my description is updated. I can edit the title if I wanted to. I can change it again from either unlisted, public, or private, and then it's going to ask me to share it. So if I want to share this entire playlist, I'm just going to click on this arrow. I'm going to copy this link, and then if I go to my email and I click on new message, I can type in a message to Gina, and I can paste this link. And now I have shared my, if I go to my sent items, I have shared this playlist with Gina. And it's going to ask you to do that on the test, to share playlists. So you can see, I didn't put a subject in there, but I've shared it with her. And if I click on that, it's going to take me right back to that official playlist with any of the videos that I've added. So if I wanted to search for more AC/DC econ movies, I would just type in econ movies, because it might ask you to add multiple videos. So if I do econ movies, I don't even have to open the video. I can just say, oh yeah, this GDP one is cool. I'm going to save it to a specific playlist. I'm going to add it to AC/DC econ playlists. And there, boom, it was added. You can add it to multiples. So I'll do that again. Here's Economics in the Lion King. If I click on those three dots, I can save it to this playlist. I'm going to click AC/DC Econ, and then down in this bottom left corner, you can see it was added. So I'm going to exit that. Now, if I go back to this playlist, you should see now it has 3 instead of 2. Okay, so that is pretty much it. We've covered the YouTube channel, how to go live, how to get to the YouTube studio if I wanted to edit videos, look at my analytics or anything like that. I can just upload a video again this way by selecting it from my computer. There, here's the fast upload button, here's the fast go live button, and there's all my stuff. So let me go back to you guys and see. Does anyone have any questions? Are all of the YouTube activities free? When you say activities, what do you mean? Right, can I get some clarification? Let me look at the comments. Putting info. Oh, yes. Yeah, you can do all of that for free. So the videos that I found on YouTube and added to my playlist, I can do those for free. If I upload my own videos, I can do those for free. Any of the activities are free. Now, they do have, if you saw here, if I look, they do have paid memberships and things like that. That is if I'm trying to collect money from my videos and I wanted to do like a YouTube partner program. So the more watches I got, the more money I would get, that kind of stuff. But you can see I am not eligible for monetization. So it's not going to let me do that. Okay, any other questions? Anybody else? No? Okay, Gina, are there any questions in the back channel?
No, everybody's really quiet today, so I think they're just maybe they're just really tired.
Well, I mean, these two things are pretty easy to figure out. So if anybody has any questions, you know, we'll stay on for a few minutes and ask them. But that's it for Screencastify and YouTube. They work well together. They work well with Google Classroom.
And
Anybody?
Edpuzzle. I put that in the chat too. Don't
Yes.
forget your Screencastify. You can record your class, your lesson, upload it to YouTube, and then through that YouTube link, you can pull it up in Edpuzzle and ask questions throughout your lesson. So
They are also now partners.
Mhm.
They're partnering in beta. So I imagine that at some point there will be a little share to Edpuzzle button, just like there is for Google Classroom and YouTube on the Screencastify menus.
Yep.
But like I said, that's in beta for now. So the workers